Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report, and today is a very, very special day. We're going to be giving away a signed Ashton Jeanty helmet at the very end of today's show. But you know what? We got a few other segments we got to get through, and we got to talk about the unfortunate news that is Kolton Miller, because unfortunately, the injury news around Miller is worse than what was originally reported. The other two segments that I'm going to be discussing here on today's program are there's a player in the NFL that I want and I think that the Raiders need to at least potentially look at and go out and trade for. Then the Raiders are going to make a coaching decision this week, and it scares the hell out of me. We're going to talk about which coaching position, which coaching decision that is, and why it scares me. Then we're going to get into our Tuna's Top 5, which is going to be a little baseball related. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. And all month long, we've been getting in raffle entries. I think Jeremy told me we have close to a little over 3,500 raffle entries for a signed Ashton Jeanty helmet. Well, guess what? I'm not doing a duck race today. The only thing that we're concentrating on is giving away a signed Ashton Jeanty helmet. And if you want your final opportunity to get in, here's what you're going to have to do. $5 super chat, you get one raffle ticket. $20 super chat, you're going to get 5 raffle tickets. $50 super chat, 20 tickets. $100 super chat is 50 tickets and also a bang. If you send in a Venmo, we're going to double those tickets. So let's say hypothetically you send in a $100 Venmo. It's 100 tickets, $50 Venmo, 40 tickets, $20 Venmo, 10 tickets, $5 Venmo, 2 tickets. Y'all can do the math. If you're trying to get it in for a chance to win a signed Ashton Jeanty helmet, it's going to be the final thing that we do here on today's program. And also, I am going to be live with our Red Sox host over on his channel. I'm a Mets fan. I know they didn't get into the playoffs, but we're going to be rooting against the New York Yankees over there. I'm going to head over there at first pitch, which I believe is 6:08 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know why the times are so flippin' weird in the MLB, but it is going to be something that I'm going to do today, so I have to be done with today's live show by 5 o'clock my time. So that means essentially you get me for 2 hours today here on the Raiders Report. And then if you still want to hang out, and if you hate the Yankees, or if you're a Yankees fan, if you're a baseball fan, go over to the Red Sox stream. But here's the cool part. You're not going to have to leave this stream, because as soon as this stream ends, it's going to take you over to Red Sox where I'm going to be. We're going to have some beers. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball. It's going to be a hell of a time. So here's what I want to know. Who wants a chance to win an Ashton Jeanty signed helmet? If you want an opportunity, I want you to spam me. Why? Because the person that types me the most right now, you're going to get a free entry. And, you know, Chugs and I, we were kind of joking about it today, because he was like, let me just see how it looks, how it works in the wheel. There were so many names that we entered on the wheel that it actually crashed his computer. So you know what? Let's try to crash it again. If you want an opportunity to go home with an Ashton Jeanty signed helmet, type me down below. We already got 415 people here in the building, and I see DB David, Edgar Gonzalez, Austin Grenz, and Roach Martinez, Lil Pete Tat, what up the real Alfonso, Doreen Dayum, Bridget Rivera here in the building. What up Slur Kane, Jeremy Colasia, Benjamin Asia, what up Edie Mason, all here in the building. What is up? What is up? Greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all pulling up here on the show. Santa Rosa Raider, Jose, what up? Miol, Andre, I love each and every one of y'all that always pull up here to the Raiders Report. But let's talk about some of the unfortunate news that literally just came in. If you don't see, it's actually the pinned comment on today's live show right before we went live here. Some bad news around Kolton Miller came in, and I said it yesterday when we were live here on the Raiders Report that I would say the earliest that Miller is going to return with that high ankle sprain was going to be Week 9, because the Raiders had a Week 8 bye. Well, here's the bad part. It's even worse than what we thought, because now he's got a hairline fracture. And I'm not a medical expert, but I'm going to anticipate that there is a chance, I would say right now a 50-50 chance, that Kolton Miller is done for the season here for the Raiders. I only say that because again, not a doctor, from what I understand, you're looking at somewhere between, it could be like an 8-week injury, okay? So when you think about 8 weeks, we're already right now in week 5. If the Raiders aren't winning football games, I don't know if they're going to risk the injury to Kolton Miller and put him out there on the field. Also, Jeremy just told me the person that is getting that raffle entry for the Genty is E.D. Mazing. You get the extra one. So when I think about the Kolton Miller injury news, I think we got to be winning football games. And at this point, I have no idea if Miller is going to be coming back. We're going to go in depth this a little bit more. Yeah. We're going to talk about who could be the replacement at left tackle. Now, if you follow this show closely, you probably already know who it's going to be, but we're going to be breaking that down here in just a little bit.
And speaking of amazing, E.D. amazing daily fantasy sports prize picks.
Shout out to our sponsor here, Prize Picks, sponsor on today's show. You and I, we make decisions every single day, but the cool part about Prize Picks is your decisions can put money in your pocket. Why? Because on Prize Picks, it's good to be right. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose a flex play where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. No matter your play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Prize Picks also is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup, which I think is really cool. If you want to check out the lineup that I did for Monday Night Football, which, again, this was a flex play, and yeah, I won some money, not a lot of money, but I was able to turn my $10 into $20 with the flex play that was on screen. Bo Nix, I will never go more on Bo, so that's the one that ended up getting me. But my bottom line is this, and I think, we had probably close to 80,000 people tune into our Monday Night Football coverage here on the Raiders Report. And if you're watching a really ugly game, let's face it, that Broncos-Bengals game, that was an ugly football game. However, though, if you were watching with Chugs and I, we were sitting here hooting and hollering, going crazy because I needed the more on J.K. Dobbins to at least put a little bit of money in my pocket. If you're a Raiders fan and you're sitting here going, man, this team stinks, we're 1-3, why would I even watch them? Why should you watch them? Well, 1, you should learn this team better. 2, you should never give up on the nation. 3, you should get a Prize Picks lineup in. That way you can put a little bit of money in your pocket. So download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Let's go to the first super. Coming in here from Knight. What'd you say? Put me down for a Deuce helmet ticket. Also, do you think they'll let him keep his Michael Mayer stance from now on? Yes. You have to.
Michael Myers.
What? Oh, sorry. I literally read it as Michael Jacoby Myers. Yeah, Michael Myers, great Halloween show. My mom's old, I guess, boyfriend, fiance, whatever you want to call it. He used to have like a lifelike Michael Myers mask. He used to wear it around the house all the time.
That's not creepy at all.
Horrifying. He would blast the music. He would wear it. He had the overalls. He had everything. It was horrifying, but I do miss that guy a lot. Let's go to Benjamin Jarvis. Geno going to shut his haters down soon.
I was waiting for Green Ellis at the end of this.
I hope so, man. Benjamin Jarvis, Green Ellis. I mean, now that
the real ones know.
I mean, that's a hell of a name right there.
Mitch is a fantasy guy, so I know 100% he knows who I'm talking about.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And, I think we're hoping so, right? I hope what Geno Smith does this week is exactly what Ashton Genty did last week. And my eyeballs tell me that Ashton Genty is a super talented running back. My eyeballs tell me this year that Geno Smith, for whatever reason, is just super flipping inaccurate. And the Geno Smith that we're seeing this year is very different than the Geno Smith that was on tape the last 3 years. I hope that he shuts down the haters, because I'll tell you this, I'm sick and tired of seeing the Geno Smith that I'm seeing right now in that Raiders uniform.
Geno's going to go out and ball again.
I hope, bro. I mean, you can't do much worse than what Geno Smith has been doing, and that's just a cold hard fact.
And you can't do much better than this guy.
The Weldonator! Bang! Let's get the party started. Also, Mitch, here's a hot take. Raiders should bring back Gruden. after Pete is done and Carr is quarterback coach, pass game coordinator, at least Gruden had the team going in the right direction before all the chaos.
Bisaccia special teams. Jack Del Rio, he's on the defense. You're bringing back Rich Gannon.
Here's the problem, y'all. John Gruden was horrific as a head coach. And I only say that because if the Raiders want to go in the right direction, good organizations win through by building in the draft. Good organizations, that's how you do it. I would not trust John Gruden, even if he was like, I'll do the job for free. I wouldn't want him to do it because of how bad he was in the draft. And, I always make this joke on the show of how often, people just want to be able to bring back what didn't work before. Like, to me, if you're the Raiders, I want to go out and get a young offensive-minded head coach. Like, look around the NFL. Some of the best teams in the NFL, time and time again, are a young offensive-minded coach, a new innovative system, and you go out and you get your quarterback that you want to be able to build around. Like, to me, there's no chance in hell I would ever welcome the idea of John Gruden back on this team. I get, like, the team was starting to get the mojo going a little bit, but also, like, where we are right now with the amount of holes that this team has on the offense and defensive side of the football, we have to be able to build in the draft. And I just think it's crazy to me to want John Gruden back. And I think people want him back because he's an entertaining guy. And if Gruden was smart, I think he would really try to stick with TV or go to college football, if I'm being 100% honest, because you don't got to draft in college. And he would be able to get players to go play for him because of his charisma and because of his name brand and what a name brand coach means to college football.
Now, if it was John Gruden to the Raiders report?
Oh, bro, I'll tell you this. John, pull up. Let's go. Let's go.
You can't touch my team, but my stream?
Oh,
yes.
Gruden. I'll let Gruden all over my stream. What up, Javier Gomez? What's up, nation? Do you think that we could beat the Colts? Yeah. Anybody can beat anybody in the NFL. If the 0-3 Giants can beat the 3-0 Chargers, why can't we? If the 0-2 Browns can beat the 2-0 Packers at the time, why can't we? The Raiders, if the Raiders led by Aiden O'Connell can beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas, why the hell can't we beat Indianapolis? And it's not going to be an easy game. The Colts are playing really solid football right now. But guess what? In the NFL, anybody can win. And I think when you look at last week against Chicago, the reason why it was so frustrating. Also, I just got one from, can you put this in for the Genti? SILCANI, 50 raffle spots. 40 raffle spots.
Salinas?
There you go.
There we go.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's Silcani? That's the name I see. He gets 40 tickets. Shout out to you. SILCANI. If you want, I can just put it.
SIL.
If you want, I can just put it.
CNI.
If I get them, I'll just put them where the raffles are going forward. That's
Silkney.
So he gets 40. But to me, I look at what the Raiders did last week against Chicago. They improved everywhere. They did. They played a better game on special teams. They played a better game on defense. They played a better game on offense. The offensive line played a lot better. The only area was Geno Smith. The reason why the Raiders lost that game was Geno Smith. So if you look at all the good in that game against Chicago and go, well, if we build off of that, and if Geno just doesn't absolutely positively shit the bed, and I don't even know if you call it shit the bed, I think it's diarrhea in the bed, then, I think we got a shot to win. I look at this current Raiders team, and I'm going, Geno Smith right now is playing worse football than Gardner Minshew and Jimmy Garoppolo their first 4 games with the Raiders. You don't believe me? I have the stats to prove it. Go check out the video that I did on Monday for Monday Overreaction. Geno just got to go back to playing the way Geno played football the last 3 years with Seattle. If he does that, we're 3-1. Unfortunately, we're 1-3. If you don't know, today is the final day of September, and our September bang race is neck and neck now.
I wonder what that Weldinator bang.
The Weldinator bang, he's getting close, but he's still not in our top 5. He's in that list. I'm trying to if you look up Weldinator, he's on there. But he's still not in the top 5. He's close, though. He's definitely close. No doubt about it.
Hell yeah.
No doubt about it. Again, if you end up winning a September bang race, you get a special prize. I'm not going to tell you all what that prize is, but I think anybody that is a Raiders Report OG, a Raiders Report legend, it's something that no doubt about it. We would want that. Charles Lewis, when we lose against the Colts, can we try AOC? Okay, AOC's never going to start for the Raiders.
He's also on IR. He's injured.
Yeah, and I think also, like, we saw Aiden O'Connell and how bad he was this offseason, right? Like, I know that people are going to want to go with him and want to try him, but we have to be able to face the facts. Like, Kenny Pickett is going to get a shot before Aiden O'Connell. So I think for the people clamoring for AOC, I'm just telling you, like, you can do it. I'm not going to blame you for doing it. I get how fans are with, players that are already on this team, but Geno Smith is going to be the Raiders quarterback this entire season. And if it gets to that point where it's that bad, well, then it's going to be Kenny Pickett. And then if it goes out to be Kenny Pickett, then it would have to be even worse. And then I still don't think it would be Aiden O'Connell. Like, that's just me being 100% honest with you. I really don't think it's going to be Aiden O'Connell. If you guys want to let me know down below whether or not the Raiders should go out and sign a free agent, you guys can let me know down below who it would be. I know I asked y'all last week if you thought the Raiders could go out and add anybody, because right now I'm looking at this offensive line situation, and I know Pete Carroll already mentioned, like, Stone Forsythe is probably going to be the person, maybe Charles Grant, but with how bad the Raiders' offensive line has been, maybe you consider going out and getting an offensive lineman. With, the injuries, we still don't know exactly what's happening with Eric Stokes. Maybe you go out and try to get in the cornerback, or maybe you make a trade. And the trade that I have today, I think is going to make a lot of Raiders fans happy. Let's go to my man, Rebel Montana. Though I do see Raider Rob, Eric Brown, Donald Jones, Vincenzo Peoples all spamming those yeses. At least we're not the New York Jets. Astros playing.
Everybody, can you throw your tomatoes at Rebel? Because I know what you're trying to do. The thing is, it's an M, Rebel. Mets. New York Mets.
Yeah, I'll say this right now. The Mets not being in the playoffs probably better for my mental health at this point.
Rebel trolling up here, Rebel spelling down here.
Though Rebel probably feels confident because Rebel is number 1 in our power rankings in our Raiders Report Fantasy Football League. He's the high scorer. He's undefeated. He's probably feeling himself real good right now. Though I want to know from all y'all, who are you guys rooting for in the MLB playoffs? Because I think the team that I'm rooting for is Red Sox, Brewers. Those are the two teams.
Anybody but the Cubs.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if the Cubs made it. But, though, the Cubs did take away a potential World Series from my Mets one time. I know Moose is over here looking at us. But I would say Brewers and Red Sox. Though I wouldn't mind if the Red Sox won, but I'm a company man. What up, Jarrett? I thought of this one earlier. This week it will be Indiana Jones versus Michael Myers. Great way to start off October. I got my money on Myers, not named Jacoby. Raider Nation for life.
We actually met Indiana Bones.
I was just going to say, we met Indiana Bones one time, and that was a pretty legendary experience. If you don't know who Indiana Bones is, you got to look him up on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
You got to look him up on Instagram. I am hoping, though, that Michael Myers ends up getting the dub. What up, Truth Bomb? Do you think Dante and Geno will get a better connection later this season? Feel he has been missing him too much, too many underthrows. I mean, there has to be somebody else that gets it going. Like, it can't just be the Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers show, and, even Trey Tucker. Like, Jack Besh and Dante Thornton, we got to be able to figure out how to get those guys more high-quality targets, so I agree with you on that statement. I also think, though, that Dante Thornton Jr. needs to do a better job getting open. I think right now he's struggling a little bit learning an NFL route tree. I think right now he's struggling against some of the NFL physicality that teams are going up against him. And, let's face it, he had an opportunity to make a big play in that game against the Chicago Bears. It was 3rd down and goal. Wasn't the best throw by Geno. It needed to be up here. It was down near his knees. But, he felt like he should have caught that football. If he catches that football, he probably walks into the end zone, touchdown Raiders. We beat the Bears. To me, he's made some good plays. He's made some ones where you expect a little bit more out of him. But if you're the Raiders, you got to get more out of some other players. You got to be able to get more out of Michael Myers. Now you guys got me saying it. You got to get more out of Michael Mayer. Got to be able to get more out of Ian Thomas, just from a blocking standpoint. Got to be able to get more out of Jack Besh. Got to be able to get more out of Dante Thornton Jr.
Michael Myers doesn't even look like he's trying out there. He's just walking.
He's just walking around, just knocking people
lethargic.
around. What's up, Chris? Mitch, if the Raiders get to trade deadline with a bad record, are they trading Jacoby for picks next year? I mean, there's definitely a possibility. I think if you're a losing team and you have the opportunity to get more draft picks, you're going to think about it. The only reason why I don't know if the Raiders honestly truly do it is for the simple fact of with the new comp rules that the NFL has, if Jacoby Myers doesn't end up coming back to the Raiders and he hits that open market and he ends up signing with another team, we're probably still going to get a third, probably fourth-round comp pick. So if you're the Raiders and a team offers you a fourth, I would sit there and I'd go, well, do I take the fourth pick now and then I don't have Jacoby Myers, or do I take the probably comp fourth pick, which will be a little bit later in the draft, but I still want to be able to make sure that I properly evaluate Geno Smith, because I think right now the number one thing that we have to know going into next season is Geno Smith the quarterback? And I feel like it's every single year we're wondering if that guy is our guy, but to properly evaluate Geno Smith, especially now with the injury to Kolton Miller, we need to make sure that that's the right decision. So I would hope we don't move on from Jacoby, because if we do, man, if we're at one win by the trade deadline, then maybe. What up, Caleb? I know Mostert is no spring chicken, but I definitely like him returning kicks more than Zeus. Why you think he didn't get a running back rep until Sunday? My honest answer, because I don't think this coaching staff knows its players well enough. And it's a shitty thing to say, but I don't know how I don't know how in God's green earth you trust Zamir White to be returning kicks. It tells me that you're either A, you haven't watched enough Zamir White tape to know that he shouldn't be in that role. B, it's kind of maybe you just had something against Raheem Mostert. I don't know what it is, but to me, when you saw how clearly much better Raheem Mostert was compared to Zamir White, it's just like the JPJ Alex Kappa situation. I think that this coaching staff got a little boomer in them, and maybe that's the 74-year-old and Pete Carroll coming out. But I feel like they make decisions, and they stick with those decisions until it is just so flippin' clear that you got to move on from that decision. Again, I think they're trying so hard to be right instead of doing what is right. And that's something that, I'm not going to lie to you, it scares the hell out of me. Let's go to Benjamin Green Ellis Jarvis. Geno been a top 12 quarterback the last 3 seasons. Why do you think he's struggling in Vegas, brother? I think there's a few different reasons. One, the number one reason is Geno Smith. And his accuracy, when I look at it right now, and I have the numbers, and I can try to find them here real quick, but Geno Smith went from being a top 5 quarterback in accuracy over the past 3 seasons to being a quarterback in terms of catchable throw percentage. Right now, he's 31st in the NFL. 6.3% turnover-worthy throw rate, 34th in the NFL. 20.3 pressure to sack rate, 27th in the NFL. 4.79 adjusted net yards per attempt, 27th in the NFL. Geno Smith went from being a quarterback that could really stretch the ball down the field to being inaccurate. I think it's also, though, the Chip Kelly offense. I thought the Chip Kelly offense would be a really good fit with Geno. Unfortunately, though, teams are learning how to defend against it. And right now what teams are doing is they're saying, all right, Geno, take the 4-yard gain. Take the 3-yard gain. I dare you to take that. Instead, Geno's trying to force the ball down the field. Chip Kelly's still trying to force the ball down the field. So I think it's a combination of new quarterback, new head coach, new OC, a bunch of new pieces coming in, and a system that was taught a certain way. When you saw the Week 1 game against New England, that's how the Raiders wanted to play. They wanted to play vertical, and they wanted to have that vertical passing attack. The problem is the Raiders are still trying to do that, but defenses are preventing it, and instead of taking what's in front of them, they're also not getting it going. I think another thing that's just clearly hurt this Raiders offense that people aren't talking about, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is so clearly not 100% healthy. He's not. He doesn't have the ability to stretch the field like he did, and because of that, we lost our number one receiving option. And when you lose a player that is as dynamic as Brock Bowers, it's going to hurt your offense. And with the offensive line issues that we've had, it's been a struggle this year, no doubt about it. Let's go to Tony. Last 5 Raiders head coaches had no winning record in the first year. Newly constructed teams need time to build chemistry. Expecting instant success is unrealistic. Oh, I agree with that, Tony. And again, I think to expect that we were going to be a instant, playoff caliber team. And I think a lot of us as Raider fans, we're hopeful. And you got to be hopeful going into the year, because if you're not hopeful in the offseason, it's going to be a long 365 days out of the year. He's fast and tall, but Thornton looks clumsy. I think Thornton looks right now, I don't know if clumsy's the right word. I just think that he looks like somebody who's not used to being able to handle the physicality of an NFL team. And one of my biggest notes that I had on Thornton was, he struggles against physical guys. And he's struggling right now against players that get physical with him because, yes, he's long, he's lanky. I obviously, if Dante Thornton and I were in a boxing ring, he'd absolutely kick the shit out of me. But, he's a little soft. And when you watch him on tape right now, he's a little soft. Justine Gonzalez, what's up? Raiders did improve on all three phases. Could have beat the Bears. Geno not paying attention, committing to play, not delivering. Yeah, I mean, I think if you would have told me the Raiders would have ran for 240 yards in any game this season, I would have said we won. I mean, there's a reason that, it was a record. The most rushing yards in a Raiders loss in franchise history. 240 yards. We got to be better at the quarterback position. It's hard to win in the NFL when your quarterback sucks, and right now our quarterback sucks. Let's go to Raider Rob 1969. Mitch, who's some free agent lineman out there that we could sign? I would say to you, Raider Rob, go watch the video that I did last week about my top 10 Raiders free agent targets, because there's an offensive lineman ranked number 1, and I've never put him at number 1 before. I still actually think that it would be a interesting idea to go about that route, though it changes a little bit now because Kolton Miller is banged up. But in terms of true offensive lineman talent, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. I'll be very, very honest with you. It's very bleak right now. Tron 77 said, Mitch, I'll take 5 tickets for a chance to win an Ashton Genty helmet. Again, for those of you who do not know, we're giving away this signed Raiders Ashton Genty helmet at the very, very end of today's program. And if you want a chance to win it, here's how you get some raffle tickets in order to get it. If you want to get double the tickets, it's on Venmo. So I just saw Joe Sobiek on Venmo, which I'll write that in here, Mr. Joe. Joe Sobiek gets 5 tickets. Hang on. For sending, it's actually 10 because it's on Venmo. Joe Sobiek. So if you were to send in a 50, you get 40 tickets. 100, you get 100 tickets. Venmo is the way to do it because it's also easier for me to track you down if you win. Let's go to Stabler for president. What up, Stabler? Geno firing downfield instead of taking the check down. I mean, it's just so obvious. It's so clear. And that's kind of why I'm a little bit scared, because defenses are – you remember the defense that Gus Bradley used to run? It's not exactly the same because, again, teams are going cover 2, and Bradley ran a lot of cover 3. But teams essentially are sitting in cover 2, and they're daring the Raiders to throw it underneath. And the problem is teams are dropping back guys. They're only bringing 4, so we're going essentially 3, 4 wide receivers always up against 7 guys in that back end, and it's been a struggle. There's no doubt. What's going to help, though, is if we can get that ground game going. If you get the ground game going, that's going to make people come up and respect you a little bit more, which I think is going to open up the vertical passing attack for the silver and black. All right, y'all. I want to get in to the first segment here, which actually I was going to do the Raiders should trade for this player first, which I guess we could still do it. We're going to do trade for this player first, and then we're going to talk about a move that is kind of scaring me right now around the Las Vegas Raiders. Then we're going to get into Tuna's top 5, and we're going to wrap up the show with an Ashton Genty helmet giveaway. I typically do 3 segments on a Tuesday, but since I'm going to be live for another 2 hours after this show, and I'm going to be live on our Red Sox program doing that game with my guy Jack Lauderay rooting for the Sox to beat the Yankees. So I got to be out of here today by 5 o'clock, just so you guys know. I don't know what's happening out there. I don't know. Ted Williams out there doing a dance. I'll tell you this. I love baseball. The Chat Sports crew today has been going wild with all the baseball rivalries. It's been fun.
Let's be honest. The Astros aren't in it, so who cares?
I mean, I still care. I'm not going to lie to you. Playoff baseball, October baseball, absolutely electric. You know, also is electric. I think the Raiders should go trade for this player. Let's talk about it right now here on the Raiders Report. The Las Vegas Raiders should trade for Seahawks cornerback Riq Woolen. My name is Mitchell Renz. You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell you why it makes sense not only for the silver and black, but also for the Seattle Seahawks. And I sat down and I talked to Seahawks host today here at Chat Sports, Will Ortner, and I said, give me some trade ideas of what Seattle would want. So you guys are going to see what a Seattle Seahawks fan, a host here at Chat Sports, would want for Riq Woolen in a trade. And then I'm going to tell you what my proposition would be for the Seahawks cornerback. But let's face the facts here. I think when you talk about moves that the Raiders need to be able to go out and make, I think going out and adding a cornerback, it makes a lot of sense. And the first reason why I think the Raiders should honestly do this, let's look at the Eric Stokes injury. I don't have the information at the time that I am recording this video of what the Eric Stokes injury is, but what I know is this. I know that he suffered an injury to that knee in week 4, and he had to leave the game early. Darian Porter went in and I actually think did a halfway decent job. He's had to deal, though, with tons of knee injuries throughout his entire career. So when I see a player that's had a lot of knee injuries, that's missed multiple games, and honestly, he's missed more games than he's probably played his first few years in the NFL due to knee injuries, and he's had some scary freak knee injuries, I don't know if I can count on Eric Stokes to be the corner that he's been the first 4 weeks of the season, because he's been the number one corner for the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to the next reason why I would make this move. We need cornerback depth. Even if Eric Stokes is 100% healthy, I'd sit up here and I'd tell you, we need cornerback depth. And right now with the current room that we have, there's a lot of unknowns with this room, because if Stokes is out, DeCamerion Richardson hasn't played since week 1 due to a hamstring injury that's been bothering him for a long time. Darnay Holmes, nobody here honestly believes in him. Darian Porter hasn't really been playing, though. When he's got some opportunities this year, he's looked actually pretty damn good. Kai Blue Kelly, the past 2 weeks, has been grandma getting out of the tub type of bad, where you're like, I don't really want to watch this anymore. Please turn it off. I don't get it off my screen. But I also look at that cornerback room and I go, Riq Woolen, has he been struggling? Yep, we'll talk about that here in a little bit, though. I think Riq Woolen might be the best cornerback on our team. And I know that we have one of the worst cornerback rooms in the National Football League, but if Pete Carroll is a cornerback whisperer like I think he is, let's go out and get a guy that he also has, some connections with. Let's go to the next reason, though, of why I think that this trade could make some sense and why it makes sense for Seattle's standpoint. So I was talking to Ortner, and I said, hey, man, why would Seattle trade away Riq Woolen, a young guy that, if you look at the numbers, he probably could have won Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie, and right now as it stands is a starter. So I said, why would this honestly happen? Ortner told me that Josh Jobe and Darian Kendrick are playing extremely well right now. And what's interesting is Darian Kendrick was originally not a starter. And then Witherspoon, who they drafted really high, remember we liked him coming out of Illinois, he falls with an injury. Darian Kendrick now steps up, and he's been playing really flipping well in the nickel. So you're not going to not play Witherspoon. What's probably going to happen, and Darian Kendrick's got 2 INTs, probably could have 4 INTs this season. What I honestly think ends up happening is Riq Woolen could end up getting benched, because Woolen's going to come in, probably take Witherspoon's role, or Witherspoon's going to take Riq Woolen's role, and then you're going to have Josh Jobe. He's still going to be the starting corner on the outside, and then they're going to put Darian Kendrick in on the nickel, which kind of means that Riq Woolen's just going to be out there hanging out, and you don't know what exactly his role is going to be. So if you're the Seattle Seahawks, you're sitting there going, well, if there's a team that could potentially be interested, I would rather trade him now as a starter, because that stock's going to be a little bit higher, where if he's a bench player, you're not going to get nearly the return on your original investment. I got more reasons coming up here in just a moment, but if you're a Raiders fan and you want to become a smarter Raiders fan, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we're giving you free content every single day here. Also, for the first time ever, we are really close in Raiders Report history. I've been doing this show for 7 years. We've never gotten 6,000 new subscribers in 1 month. If we get 47 new subscribers today, we will get 6,000 new subscribers for the first time in Raiders Report history. If you love the Raiders Report, if you think that you're part of the family here, I hope that you really hold that prideful, because in a tough year already, Raider Nation is always showing up and showing out. Join the family, hit that subscribe button. Let's go to the next reason here of why I think that the Raiders should go out and trade for Riq Woolen. It's a buy low. I'm a yard sale type of guy. I walk into a store, I'm not afraid to admit it. I look at the clearance rack. I look at the sale rack. Hell, especially when I'm shopping with my wife, I'm like, let's go to the clearance rack first. But the reason why you could potentially buy low right now on the Seattle corner is because he has gotten worse and worse each year, and he is starting to fall out of favor in Seattle. Also, he's in a contract year, and the Seattle Seahawks don't want to pay him. So knowing that, we could have an opportunity to swoop in and go get him. Also, the fact that the cornerback room right now in Seattle is deeper, Woolen is expendable. And when I hear expendable, I hear in a contract year, a team doesn't want to pay him. And the fact that he's gotten worse and worse since Pete Carroll has left, all of those reasons there make a lot of sense. I mean, like, let's look at the PFF numbers as it stands right now. In 269 total snaps, Riq Woolen, he's got a 40.4 overall PFF grade. And believe me, these numbers here, they're not good. And I know that there's going to be a lot of Raiders fans at home right now going, Mitch, you want to trade for this guy? Yes. Yes, I do. Why? Because I know what Riq Woolen looked like with Pete Carroll, which is exactly why I'm going to ask you all this question now. Because if you're looking at the tape of Woolen the last 2 years, you're probably going to say pass. And that's totally fine. But if you think in your heart of hearts that Woolen could be a starter on this team, and if you believe in his connection with Pete Carroll, I think you should type trade. So to everybody that comes across this video, y'all are about to get in with the YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down and answer this question. If you bleed silver and black, answer this question. Trade or pass, what should the Raiders do for Riq Woolen? I made this video for a reason. I believe the Raiders should go out and trade for Riq Woolen for all of the reasons that I just outlined here, and the biggest reason why I actually think it could happen, right? Like, we talk a lot about trades on this show. Why? Because we like to be able to create conversations here, and there's a lot of times where I'll talk about a player, and then I'll go, well, I actually don't think that it's going to happen. I don't think that trade's going to happen. The reason why that this trade 100% could happen, and I think people that follow the NFL and people that follow this show closely know that this trade is actually a possibility, where there's sometimes trades get thrown out and you're like, come on, man. That's not going to happen. This is one that absolutely positively can happen because we know what relationships and connections mean to Pete Carroll and this regime. Riq Woolen was selected in the 5th round of the 2022 NFL Draft by Pete Carroll and that regime out of UTSA. Quite frankly, how many of the OGs and the real ones remember me talking about Riq Woolen and being like, I absolutely love this guy, and I hope that the Raiders go out and get him in 2022. But Woolen's best 2 years were with Pete in Seattle. And I think when you talk about the definition of a Pete Carroll corner, it's a 6'4", 210, absolute athletic freak. That's what Pete Carroll looks for. And that's exactly what Riq Woolen is. And then, if you're Riq, you're probably also sitting there going, I would love the opportunity to go play for Pete Carroll again. I would love the opportunity to go play for the Las Vegas Raiders, where I can be potentially the number one corner on that roster, because look at those 2022 numbers. Look at those rookie numbers. Teams were testing him, and he was making people pay. 16 PBUs, 6 interceptions in 2023, 53 tackles, 2 interceptions, 11 PBUs. I mean, this guy is an absolute athletic monster, and maybe there is something that we know, or maybe there is something that Pete Carroll knows that other coaches just don't see and they can't read about him. Because when the last 2 seasons they're good, right? But they're still not nearly as good as what Riq was doing with his first 2 seasons in Seattle. And that's kind of where I'm sitting up here and I'm going, can we recreate that magic? And for Pete Carroll, the cornerback whisperer, the connection's there, our need is there. I think it's a buy low option. I think all of those reasons are why it makes a lot of sense of why the Las Vegas Raiders could be a team that goes out and tries to get to Riq Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks. Coming up next here, though, takes 2 to tango, and it takes the deal to end up getting a trade done. I got some Raiders and Seahawks trade ideas coming up here, and I got 3 of them. 2 from our Seahawks guy, and then the offer that I would send to Seattle to get this deal done. Speaking of, let's get this done. I want you to download the PrizePicks app. Why? Because it's a lot of fun, and when you do, it helps us out. If you're a Raiders fan and you're sitting at home right now going, Mitch, the season's over, I actually think that's even more of a reason for for you to go right now. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And if you think that you're right a lot, well, join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. If you've been following me all season long, I have been doing a lot of flex plays, which I love to be able to do because PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out. Even if your lineup isn't perfect, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So for those of you that were tuned in and watching our Monday Night Football game yesterday between the Broncos and the Bengals, that game was horrible. Nobody wanted to watch that game. But guess what? I was sitting here hooting and hollering, cheering because I needed the more on J.K. Dobbins. And sure, I didn't get $60, but I turned my $10 into $20. And that's why I love PrizePicks, because even in a game that I don't care anything about, I'm going to have fun watching. And in today's day and age, if you got 3 hours of entertainment for $10 and then the chance to win $20, sign me up for that every single day of the week, especially being a Raiders fan. I appreciate PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show, and I hope that you show our sponsor a little bit of love. Coming up next here on the show, let's get into the Raiders and Seahawks trade ideas that are they're gonna be a little bit eye-popping, okay? And I'll talk about what each trade is. So the first trade that you are going to see is our Seahawks host Will Ortner's dream trade. So this is a trade that he offered me, and he goes, Mitch, do you think that John Spytek, Pete Carroll, and the Las Vegas Raiders would accept this trade? I'll tell you this right now. Y'all are going to hate it. And I also did not like it. I think Riq Woolen is a really special player. And I do think that he would help out this team. I'm not giving up Jackson Powers Johnson. 0% chance I'm giving up JPJ. It just doesn't make sense for this organization to right now give up your best offensive lineman. With Kolton Miller potentially done for the season with not only that high ankle sprain, but that hairline fracture as well, you can't trade away Jackson Powers Johnson. The only way you trade away JPJ is if you hate Ashton Genty and Geno Smith. Let's go to the next trade idea here, and this is his realistic trade idea of what he honestly believes it would cost to go out and get him from the Seattle Seahawks, and here's the trade idea. Now, when he says realistic, he also believes that the Raiders might be willing to overpay a little bit because of the connection with Pete, because of the past success that Woolen had with Carroll, but a 4th-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. If you feel like that's a little bit too rich for your blood, also reminder, we're going to get some extra comp picks, and we have an extra 4th-round comp pick. So if you're like the Raiders and you're like, all right, well, I don't want to give up that 4th, well, you could get that 4th, you get Riq Woolen, and then you'll have that 4th-round comp come the NFL draft time. Here's my trade offer, though, okay? And it's really not too far off from one of the deals that you've already seen here on today's program. But to me, I would sit up here and I'd go, Seahawks drafted him for a 5th-round pick back in 2022. I think us offering a 5th-rounder is a fair deal. I mean, imagine this. Imagine you bought a car in 2022, and then you're able to sell that car in 2026 for exactly what you bought for it in 2022. If that's a player that you have no interest in and bringing back in terms of a brand new contract, if that's a player that you don't even know if he's going to be a starter on your roster, that's a win-win situation. I think that this is a win for the Seahawks. I think this is a win for the Las Vegas Raiders. However, though, I want to know what the nation has to say. Who wins this trade? And if you want to take a screenshot of this bad boy, I know trades go viral. If you take a screenshot, make sure that you tag me on Instagram and on Twitter at MitchellRens365. But if you think the Silver and Black win this deal, type LV. If you think the Seattle Seahawks win this deal, type SEA. Now, I'm looking right now at the live chat down below. There's some people that are saying, Mitch, we could have gone a little bit cheaper. And you might be right. We could have gone a little bit cheaper, but I also know that Riq Woolen is going to be a player that other teams go out and they look for. I also know that the Raiders are sometimes willing to overpay a little bit for something that they want. Like, look at the Kenny Pickett deal, right? So I'm looking at this deal right now, and I'm going, I also know we have an extra 5th-round comp pick. So because of that, I am okay giving up a 5th-rounder for a player that looked as good as what Riq Woolen did, because if we get the Riq Woolen that showed up in 2022 and 2023, that's going to be a corner that could potentially send a contract extension of $15 million plus per year. That sounds pretty damn good to me. If you don't know my live schedule this week, here's when I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be live Thursday Night Football, like I go live for every Thursday Night Football. It's going to be a wild one, though, and we got a lot of beers that we got to put down. Then I'm going to be live noon Eastern time, 1 hour before kickoff, Raiders Colts. If you don't know, I go live every single Monday now, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Then we're going to be live for Monday Night Football, and then we're back again next week for October 7th. I'll also say this. My wife's birthday is the 6th. So I hope this. If I'm missing my wife's birthday, I hope that you guys come party and hang out with us all day here on the Raiders Court. Because if you don't, you guarantee this, I'm going to hear about it. All right, y'all, go down to the comments section. Playoff baseball is today. Yeah, when I told Alex I'm working all day on Monday, this might shock you. She wasn't thrilled about it. I don't know how many, I don't know if y'all's wives are the same. Alex's birthday is, it's basically all of October. We celebrate it all day. No bueno? Not good. Believe me. I know. We're going out for dinner, so I'm with her all day Friday. We have plans Saturday, and then we're doing a dinner on Sunday. So I'm trying to do what I can, and, it's tough because I'm loyal to my schedule here. I also am, really trying to, let people know, I want to be able to go live for every Monday Night Football game. But at the same time, that's why I love my wife, because she understands how much I care about this job and how much sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, man. And I think a lot of people know that. You got to do what you got to do. Who do you want to win the World Series? Let me know down below. To me, the two teams that I'm rooting for, the Red Sox, because we have a Red Sox channel here at Chat Sports, and I think Jack's one of the hardest working guys in the biz. And then the Brewers. The Brewers are a team that I'd like to see win a World Series. Also, Brewers' first-round pick from this past year's draft, Blake Burke. He's the all-time home runs leader at Tennessee, is an OG Raiders Report watcher. Oh. And he's a guy that always tunes in here and always shows us love, so I'm going to show love to him as well. So if you need somebody to root for, you're like, I don't know who to root for. Root for a diehard Raider fan that could be the Brewers' future first baseman. Not yet. Future first baseman.
There we go.
He's tearing it up, though, right now.
All right. And that leads us
see some Brewers and Phillies
perfectly
down below
into our Tuna's top 5. And Mitch said he'll be live with Jack Lauderay, our MLB guy here at Chat Sports, right after this. Actually, it's going to send y'all directly to that stream after we're done here.
Yep.
Before our Tuna's top 5.
Yep.
I said, you know what? Let me ask Jack his top 5 teams that he could see win the World Series this year. So this isn't my list. This isn't Mitch's list. This is our MLB guy, Jack Lauderay's list, and he gave me a little sentence for each of these on why he picked it where he did. So, Tuna's top 5 World Series teams that he thinks could win this year. Number 5, the Seattle Mariners. He said pitching staff alone is going to be able to carry this team. Plus, they made some major offensive upgrades at the deadline. The Mariners knocked out the Astros. I mean, really, the Astros kind of knocked out themselves. They lost to the Athletics and the Angels.
Yeah.
Absolute joke. Either way, Mariners, really good pitching. They did add a bat right at the trade deadline, so a sneaky team right there. Ryan Campbell says Red Sox or Guardians. Number 4, the Brewers, what Mitch just said. He said the best team in baseball this season, even though regular season is much different than the postseason.
Yep.
He said it's a gritty team, not defined by one player, big on the whole team being a part of the game, but that can also be kind of a weakness for them because they don't have a go-to guy, somebody who is known to be when we're down and out, we can kind of hope on this guy.
Yep.
So the Brewers, number 4 on Jack Lauderay's team. Close your ears on this one because I know a lot of people were hoping that this would be the number 1 team on Jack's list. He says number 3 is the Doyers. Never count out.
That's exactly how Jack said it, too.
Yes, that's how he said it. The Doyers. Never count out Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, the Michael Jordan of baseball right now, I guess. I don't know.
I was going to say the Babe Ruth of baseball, but that doesn't make any sense.
Babe Ruth is the Babe
No,
Ruth
I know.
of baseball.
He's the Travis Henry of.
Travis Hunter?
Yeah, I'll just stop. I'll leave.
He's the Travis Hunter of baseball. He plays both ways. Some say
Go to bed, Mitch.
he's by pitcher. I don't know. What? Both ways. Whatever. He's a switch hitter.
We clearly know baseball.
But he said also, not only that, you also have Freddie Freeman. You also have Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
So obviously they have to be one of the favorites to win it all this year. Number 2, he's going with the Philadelphia Phillies. He said they seem like a team of destiny. Harper, Schwarber, and he said they're a scrappy and hungry team. And maybe his words, maybe the best home field advantage in all of baseball is the Philadelphia Phillies, because those Philadelphia fans get absolutely wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing I know his number 1 team.
It's the Red Sox.
I was going to say.
He said the Sox are the best. That's all he sent me for this one.
Jack is a diehard Red Sox fan, which, I think this, real recognize real. Jack has made a video for all 162 Red Sox games this year. Think about that for a second, right? Like, I think that level of dedication, that level of commitment, that's commitment to excellence in its own right. And that's why I'm joining the show.
Mitch,
yeah?
This could be big for you. And Raider fans, listen up. The Dolphins just waived Cam Smith. The second-round pick in the 2023 draft now heads to waivers. He was a second-round pick. A lot of people thought he was going to be really good coming out of South Carolina, and he fits the Pete Carroll bill. He's big. He's super athletic.
Okay. I mean, it's going to have to potentially be a name that we keep in mind. I mean, I'll have to see if there's any, connections at all with him. But
well, he was drafted to the Miami Dolphins. Is there anybody –
I mean, from our staff, off the top of my head right now, it's not ringing a bell, but I know PG has a lot of connections to a lot of those Miami guys.
Yeah, and it was in the 2023 draft. So, never got a chance in Miami, barely even saw the field. I don't even know how many snaps he took with Miami.
Soldier Man, I see you. Also, or is it Eric? Eric Kim.
Let's see.
I got you also in the Genty raffle. Reminder, if you send in money on Venmo, I'm doubling your tickets. And we have a lot. And I mean a lot.
All right, let's see.
Of raffle
Last
tickets.
season, played in just 133 snaps, only played in 22 snaps his rookie season.
What up, Scheffler?
Good PFF grades his rookie season.
You're not wrong, Chef. You're not wrong.
73 PFF grade, 73 coverage grade. This past year, played in 133 snaps, like I said. Not so good last year, though, with the PFF grades. But PFF isn't the end-all, be-all. And to be honest, he looks like he's never started a game. He started playing games last year in Week 8, 35 snaps, 29, 33, 8, 16, and 12.
I got you, AK. All right, y'all. Let's get into...
Really quickly, though, we do have a couple super chats to get in, and then I'm going to also put y'all in the Genty raffle. Quick reminder also for that. We're doing that at the end of today's show. Last chance to get in for a signed Ashton Genty helmet. And all the tickets that you send on Venmo, all these amounts, if you send it on Venmo, double the tickets.
Also, huge shout out here to John Fallon. John sent us this Raiders helmet. He sent us the Ashton Genty helmet. And he was like, hey, I want to be able to help out the show in any way that I can. I'll say this. If you're somebody at home and you really appreciate this program and you're like, Mitch, I would love to be able to send you guys something, let us know, right? Like, I want people to want to be able to help out this show in any way they possibly can. Of course, I would love to be able to give away something like this. Though, Chugs will tell you what we have coming up for our month-long giveaways in October and the month-long giveaway we have for November. I'm telling y'all right now.
Chills.
It's really flipping cool, man. Really flipping cool. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I just wanted to be able to, again, say huge shout out to John Fallon for being a real one, hooking up the nation here, and honestly creating a lot of good fun laughs the entire month of September. Let's go to Roke. What's up, brother? Reminder, if you want to get your questions, comments on the show, it's hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to skip the line. We are a house with a bowed foundation. quarterback O-line falling apart with a Lambo outside, also waiting for your line to protect, to be perfect to draft a quarterback is bad. I don't totally disagree with a lot of what you're saying right now because, like to me, what I'm concerned about is I don't want the Raiders to build a team kind of like the Cincinnati Bengals. You watched that game yesterday where you're like, man, they got T. Higgins, they got Jamar Chase, and I know Joe Burrow's out, but that team is just so clearly bad because they spent their money on a Lambo instead of spending the money on a foundation like a good offensive line. I think that there is, though, a point to – I don't think it's a smart thing to do to draft a quarterback and put him behind a absolutely positively horrendous offensive line. What I think the Raiders, though, got to do, like if it was up to me, I do think Geno Smith, I know I'm still saying this, is still good enough to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League, but you got to be able to get a better offensive line that's going to create a little bit of extra running lanes, and it's just going to be able to create more opportunities for Geno. But the way that the Raiders built this team this offseason, I am incredibly disappointed in John Spytek. I am incredibly disappointed in Pete Carroll because everything that I heard, everything that I thought they believed, they didn't prove it right to me. I was told this is a team that values the trenches, and unfortunately, it's a team that doesn't value the trenches from what I've seen right now. Let's go to AJ. What up, AJ? Season goes bad. Fire Chip, hire Rams pass game coach Nate Shieldhouse as OC and draft a quarterback Mendoza. And draft Shieldhouse. Could replace Pete when he retires. I'll say this. I don't mind the idea of you going out and adding anybody from the Sean McVay tree. Quite frankly, I think anybody that watches this show knows that I've been begging and asking for the Raiders to go out and add anybody from the Sean McVay tree because it shows that it clearly works. I want a young, innovative, offensive-minded coach. That is what I want. But also at the same time, I know how much the Raiders like Chip Kelly. And I don't think the Raiders would fire Chip Kelly. I think Chip Kelly would have to leave for another opportunity. There's a reason why he's the highest paid OC in the National Football League. And, I think that there is a chance that Chip Kelly could be the predecessor to Pete Carroll. So I hear you loud and clear, but I don't think it's going to happen, but I think if you're willing to hire anybody from the Sean McVay tree, I think it's a good idea. Red Sox or Guardians from Ryan Campbell, and I'm on board with both of these teams as well. Real Cowboy. Pete Carroll is making JPJ compete to stay. He should do the same with Geno. Just saying. Oh, Real Cowboy, I agree with this statement, man. This is what I said during my show, and I want everybody to remember this super chat because I'm going to say something here in a show coming up here in just a moment, which I think is going to resonate with this super chat. It's going to resonate with a lot of Raiders fans right now because I don't want to – I'll save it. I'll say what I'm about to say because it's going to be coming up here on today's program. But I am with you, Real Cowboy. I think right now Pete's showing favoritism to certain players, and that's how I'm going to leave that to OG. OG, I see your comment. We will get to that super after this next segment here, and I know we're moving maybe a little bit quicker than what we typically do on a Tuesday, but that's only because I got to be live on our Red Sox channel with Jack Lauderay here in about an hour, and I want to be able to give away an Ashton Genty signed helmet. So please keep all that in mind. Cheers to all y'all. Let me just get a sip here real quick. Cody, we should make Carroll's son compete. That I can get on board with. All right, y'all. Holy shit. Wild stuff. I just got a crazy Venmo, which we'll talk about after this next segment coming up here on the Raiders Report. Ready? Yeah. Got it. You ready? Y'all ready? Coming up, let's talk about something that I'm not going to lie to you, scaring the hell out of me a little bit. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, some terrible Kolton Miller injury news, plus a coaching decision that is scaring me. And we're going to talk about both of these things today on the Raiders Report. Let's first hit here, though, the horrible news around Kolton Miller. We knew Miller when he went down on the field. He was carted off in that Week 4 loss to the Chicago Bears. We knew the injury was bad. Originally, we actually thought it might have been a shoulder injury based on what Miller was like looking and holding. Turns out it was a high ankle sprain. It's now been confirmed today from Ian Rappaport that not only is Kolton Miller dealing with a high ankle sprain, he's also dealing with a hairline fracture. And he's headed to IR. I originally said that I expected Miller to return to the Raiders earliest, Week 9, because of that sprained ankle and because the Raiders have a Week 8 bye. I'll say this right now. If anybody's got a quarter at home or a coin, flip it in the air. Heads or tails, because I think that's the chance right now that we don't see Kolton Miller again for the rest of the season. Why do I say that? The Raiders are 1-3. Kolton Miller was just recently given a contract extension. He is a part of this long-term plan. If Kolton Miller is healthy, I do think he's going to try to play. But if the Raiders are 100% out of it and they're just a really shitty team and we're clearly not going to make the playoffs and we have nothing to play for, they're going to let him heal up. They're going to make sure he's rested. That way he's ready to rock and roll for 2026. But there is a chance that Kolton Miller is done for the season. So unfortunately, some bad news turned worse. Here, though, is the move that scares me. According to Pete Carroll, he anticipates that Stone Forsythe is going to likely play the left tackle position now that Kolton Miller is likely out for potentially the remainder of the season. Carroll said, quote, Forsythe will be the first choice, but this is also an opportunity for Charles, meaning Charles Grant, to make a charge for it. My point is this. If you agree that the idea of starting Stone Forsythe at left tackle is dumb and it scares the heck out of you, I want you to hit the like button on this video right now, because I mean this when I say this, Pete, Brennan, Carroll, the coaching decisions that you guys have been making, like, this isn't a 1 week sample size, so I don't want to hear like, oh, Mitch, let's let him see what happens. No, I'm not doing it, because if we got a coaching staff that's going to play Alex Kappa over JPJ, a coaching staff that's going to keep playing Jordan Meredith over JPJ at center, clearly we have a coaching staff that doesn't know this offensive line, doesn't know the players on their team well enough, and I'm going to say it, it's a dumb move to start Stone Forsythe at left tackle. Why does this move scare me? He's already a career below average backup. Like, would you want Brandon Parker to start at left tackle? No, of course not. And Stone Forsythe is basically Brandon Parker. Like, let's look at his 2024 PFF grades. This is 414 snaps, a 43.1 overall grade, a pass blocking grade of 41.3, a run blocking grade of 51.6. Heck, 3 penalties committed, 2 sacks allowed, 4 hits, 35 pressures. We're talking about Stone Forsythe. And then in 2023, when he was playing tackle at times with Geno Smith on a horrible offensive line, a 58.2 overall grade, that 40.8 pass blocking grade. Yes, the run blocking grade is a little bit better, but I also almost just wonder if that's just the Seattle running game that season. And then the 5 sacks allowed, the 7 hits allowed, the 32 pressures allowed, and 497 snaps. Like, if you were to play a full season, over 1,000 snaps, if you're projected to have over 10 sacks allowed, obviously that's not a good equation. And I'm just concerned because Stone Forsythe is not a good player. And I know that he's not a good player. I think you guys know he's not a good player. So knowing that, why are we going to continue to roll with something that we already know what it is? Stone Forsythe is not a good offensive tackle. Then, not only is he not a good offensive tackle, he's bad at right tackle. And he's got limited left tackle snaps. So essentially, you're telling a guy who has shown you on tape that he's not very good at right tackle to then take him away from right tackle and put him at left tackle. Like, left tackle is going to be even more of a hard thing to deal with. In his career, he's played 21% of his snaps at left tackle, 0 on the interior, though he did play a little bit interior in college, played a little bit of left tackle in college, played a little bit of right tackle in college. But in the NFL, 78% of his snaps have been at right tackle. Tight end is he's not actually been lined up at tight end. It's more for like jumbo sets when you bring out that 6th offensive lineman. They're technically lined up in that tight end spot, which is where he's played. So you're telling me a guy that's really struggled at right tackle, we're going to go put him at left tackle. Okay, Pete. All right, Brennan. Now the bunk beds seem a little left up. Make the choice right now. Should the Raiders start Stone Forsythe at left tackle? If you're like, yes, Mitch, this is the right decision to make, type yes down below. If you're like, no, I don't think it makes any sense, type no, and then I want you to tell me who you think that the Raiders should be starting at left tackle. Clearly, I don't think it's a smart decision for the Raiders to go about this route, but you know what? I'm not going to tell you who I want to start at left tackle yet. I'm going to make you watch a little bit longer because I want to see what you guys have to say before I give my answer. Let's go to the next reason, though, why it scares me a little bit. And reminder to the Real Cowboy Super Chat if you're watching this live. I feel like Pete Carroll is showing favoritism. And that is a scary thing for me to say because why are players that Pete brings in, they don't have to compete for their job. I'm not saying that he's not going out there and competing, but it seems like Kolton Miller goes down, Stone Forsythe gets the job right away. Why does JPJ have to earn his job when he's clearly better than Jordan Meredith, clearly better than Alex Kappa? Alex Kappa is a Pete Carroll guy, but JPJ's got to compete with him. Stone Forsythe got that Pete Carroll connection. Just gets to go in there right away at left tackle. Like what I think Pete Carroll should have said was, we're not going to name a left tackle yet. We're going to let Stone Forsythe and we're going to let Charles Grant go out there and compete for that job. Why, when asked, does Geno Smith have to compete for his job? It was just such an asinine answer. My point is this. Pete Carroll has been showing me some stuff this year, and it's I don't want to say it's been giving me the ick. It's been kind of giving me a Josh McDaniels feel a little bit, though, and I know I'm not the only Raider fan that feels that. It's clear to me that Pete Carroll and this regime, they have their guys. They are having their favorites, and those are players that they just seem they get to go to the front of the line. And I don't like that because that's not what the compete mentality is supposed to be. We don't pick favorites. And right now, you deciding to play Stone Forsythe at left tackle is, I think, you playing favorites to your guys. I want to do what's best for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't want to do what's best for Pete Carroll and Brennan Carroll because you haven't been able to show me that you know what's best for the Raiders on the offensive line. Coming up next here on the show, I'm going to tell you who I want the Raiders to start at left tackle. And I think it's really going to make a lot of sense for multiple reasons out there. Before I tell you who I think should be the left tackle for the Silver and Black moving forward, here's also something that I think you guys should do. Go get started with our sponsor, Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. So if one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today for America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. Now, some of you are going to be looking at some of the lineups that I've been able to put together, and this is the lineup that I did for Monday Night Football, and I was able to turn $10 into $20 with a flex play, and Prize Picks invented the flex play. If you're a Raiders fan and you're already like, man, this season's over, you should definitely go get Prize Picks because every time you watch a game, you're going to be able to have some fun. Heck, even for the baseball games going on right now, get a Prize Picks lineup in. Once basketball starts, get a basketball lineup in. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. You know what else it's good to be right about? It's good to be right knowing that Jackson Powers-Johnson is our best interior offensive lineman. He showed you against Chicago. And here's the other thing. I know I'm going to be right in saying this, that it makes more sense for the Raiders to start Charles Grant than it does Stone Forsythe. I know what Stone Forsythe is, Pete. I know what he is. Hell, you know what he is. We don't know what Charles Grant is yet. And I understand that he's a developmental piece, but you also selected him in the 3rd round of the 2025 NFL Draft. And I would rather Charles Grant play left tackle and learn and take his lumps and develop instead of Stone Forsythe. The reason why I am concerned about this move by the Raiders is because Pete Carroll is supposed to be somebody that helps us develop our players for the future. Yet, when you look at all the players that we drafted, we're not getting anything out of any of the guys that we're drafting. And I don't know if we have the right people to develop our offensive linemen. Do you trust Brennan Carroll to develop our offensive linemen? I know I don't. So I would rather put Charles Grant out there on the offensive line and throw him into the fire, sink or swim type of thing. The only reason why that I say that is because the last time I saw an offensive lineman truly get thrown into the fire at left tackle was Kolton Miller. And I'm not saying that Charles Grant is as talented as Kolton Miller, though if you talk to a few people around the league, They think that Charles Grant can turn into a very good left tackle. But let's talk about Miller as a rookie. In 2018, in just over 1,000 snaps, he allowed 16 sacks, 7 hits, 65 pressures, 8 penalties against. He got a little bit better in year 2 as a sophomore, allowing only 7 sacks, allowing 37 pressures. My point is this. Kolton Miller is getting older. Charles Grant, I do believe, was drafted to be that potential replacement to Miller once his contract ends up probably being over in the year 2027. If it was up to me, this would be the offensive line that I would put out there on the field. I would put Charles Grant at left tackle, and then I would help out Grant with a smart offensive lineman like Jordan Meredith. I would put JPJ at center because now with a weaker left tackle and a weaker tackle position, we need to be able to dominate interior a little bit more. So what would I do? I would put JPJ at center. I would put Dylan Parham at right guard, and I would roll with DJ Glaze at right tackle. I know that that's not going to be the offensive line the Raiders decide to go with. Quite frankly, I think the Raiders are going to end up going with Stone Forsythe. Then it's going to be Dylan Parham. Then it's going to be Jordan Meredith. Then it's going to be JPJ. Then it's going to be DJ Glaze. I don't mean to always say this, but I do really, really, truly believe that I know this Raiders roster better than the guys making the decisions for the silver and black. Though, coming up, the final reason why it scares me, and it might be the biggest reason on today's show. Before I get into that, though, I want you to set a reminder, whether it be on your camera, whether it be on your phone, whether it be on your calendar. Maybe you got a calendar at home, which I always tell my wife to update because I never update it. Here's when I'm going to be live, though, and I'm going to be honest with you. October 6th, it's my wife's birthday. She's not very happy that I'm going to be working all day. So all I ask is this, that you guys pull up and show up every single day this week like you guys always do. We're going to have some deals. We're going to have some prizes. We're going to have a good time. Wait until you see what our brand new raffle item is in the month of October. If you're not subscribed to the Raiders Report, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Let's go to the final reason here, though, of why this move by the Raiders starting Stone Forsythe at left tackle scares me. And it scares me because of our offensive struggles. Week 4 against the Chicago Bears felt like we were going in the right direction. The offensive line got it going. Ashton Jeanty got it going. Quite frankly, I thought us as a team got it going outside of Geno Smith. You know what's not going to help Geno Smith? Not having Kolton Miller at left tackle. You know what's not going to help our ground game? Not having Kolton Miller at left tackle. You know what's not going to help our offense? Not having Kolton Miller at left tackle. We went from having a really bad offensive line with arguably the best left tackle in the NFL based on the way he's played this season. And if you're like, oh, Kolton Miller's not that good, I really encourage you to go look at the numbers because he might actually be the best left tackle in the National Football League this season. You're losing that guy. Now you're getting a horrendous backup to play at left tackle. I am unbelievably concerned about what this offensive line is going to look like, and I hope Chip Kelly and Brendan Carroll get on the same page because I'll tell you this, you better get rid of the ball quickly. You better be able to figure out how to run through the air. You better be able to figure out how to dominate on the interior ground game, or else a 1-3 season is about to feel really flipping long because I know this is the final day of September, the first day of October. This Raiders season, though, already feels like, oh my God, what else could possibly go wrong? If you made it this far in the video, shout out to you for being a real one. And if you don't already, give me a follow on social media. I'm at Mitchell Rents 365, literally everywhere. I post even more videos there. So if you're like, Mitch, I like this show, I'm a new subscriber. We've had over 6,000 new subscribers this month. Well, guess what? Even more content on social media. If you want more Raiders, if you want Mitchell Rents 365, I got it for you 365 days out of the year. Let's go to my man, OG. What up, OG? Trade for Woolen, only good season is with Pete. Also, 77.5 yards, more or less, on Ashton Jeanty. You might hate me. I'm going to go less. And the only reason why
Mitch.
To me, I wouldn't do any more or less on Ashton Jeanty until we see what this Raiders offensive line looks like without Kolton Miller. Like, to me, there's other areas that you could look at. And based off what we saw last week, 2 targets, 2 catches, 17 yards, 2 touchdowns, we got to be able to incorporate that a little bit more into our offensive game plan. That's honestly, that's just me being honest with you.
Let's see.
I don't know what it is, though.
The Colts also allow
The Colts are one of the better teams in the NFL. They are.
Yeah.
I forget what the exact number is. I think they are allowing 21 rushing yards per game, like 21st in the NFL in terms of rushing yards. Oh, no, that's passing. I think they're actually 9th in the NFL in rushing yards against. That's what it is.
They're not too good against it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. For opponents, no, you're right. I read it wrong. For opponents, they're allowing 96 rushing yards per game.
Yeah, I believe that's 9th in the NFL. Here's the other stat, though. They've also, because they've been winning games, the stat that I looked up is running backs have carried the ball 69 times against the Colts. That's the second fewest in the National Football League.
Dude, Jonathan Taylor's insane right now.
Leads the NFL in rushing yards, 414.
5.4 yards a carry.
77 carries, 414 yards. I mean, that's how that team's going to try to beat us. They're going to try to run down our throat.
Rookie tight end Tyler Warren is insane.
Looks really good. 27 targets, 19 catches, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns.
263 yards. You idiot.
Dang it. I was looking at a lot of numbers today around that team, so I have some of them stuck in my head. Let's go to Tony Williams. I think the Cubs might win this year. I don't know why. I mean, I think the Cubs are always a team that you root for.
And it's funny. I'm looking at them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Out of their top 4 sack getters, 3 of them are in the secondary.
For Indy. Interesting.
Nick Cross, Kenny Moore, Mekhi Blackman all have a sack from the secondary.
I mean, Max Crosby, I believe, is 10th or 11th in the NFL in PBUs among all players.
Yeah.
He's got 4 PBUs this year. It's pretty good.
Pretty good, Jim.
All right, y'all. I see some people here on Venmo. I just saw Blake Crump. I got you in for a chance to win an Ashton Genty signed helmet. Also, I don't know how many of these we're going to have to. How do I get? So that's there. It's 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 there. And then let's do this. Hang on. That. All right. I think that does it pretty good there. All right, so here's what we have left to do here on the Raiders Report. We still have to do a Ashton Genty helmet giveaway. So if you want an opportunity to get in to win that bad boy, here's how you can do it. It's a $5 super chat, you get 1 ticket. $20 super chat, you get 5 tickets. $50 super chat, you get 20 tickets. $100 super chat, you get 50 tickets. If you Venmo me any of these numbers here, I'm going to double the tickets. So if you send me $100 on Venmo, you get 100 tickets. Send me a $50 Venmo, you get 40 tickets. I'm sure you guys can do the math.
Did you slack me that?
Yes. Actually, no. I'm an idiot. I slacked it to myself. Like a complete
I was like,
idiot.
I actually never.
Oh, I slacked myself. Also, I put the entries in there already.
Yeah.
I put them in there already. Oh, boy. We got 500 people here in the building. What up, nation? What up, nation? Somebody's about to go home with an Ashton Genty signed helmet. This is going to be pretty dope. As soon as the Genty raffle is over and done with, I'm going to hop on out of here. And then for those of you that do not know, I'm going to be going live on our Red Sox channel. So I don't want you guys to miss that. Jack's actually going to be going live at 4:30. I'm probably not going to join until about 5. I mean, if you wanted, we could technically do that other segment, or we just do it tomorrow.
It's up to you.
We could just do it tomorrow. I wanted to test something out anyway, so. Ooh, this is interesting. Literally not interesting at all. The Raiders worked out Gottlieb Adiz, the player the Raiders literally cut earlier this offseason, and Leroy Watson today.
Leroy Watson.
That's the 2 players that the Raiders worked out. That's it's embarrassing.
Small bowl of peas. Small bowl of peas.
That's annoying, quite frankly. I wish we would work out real players.
You want to see something crazy?
Yep. Is it this wheel? So I don't know how. Oh, my Lord.
So I don't know what that white thing is on the left, but I think once you hit like 2,000,
Yeah.
it like I was able to spin it on my computer, but I think you can already tell it's like already like
It's glitching.
it's having some problems. It's like, holy crap, we didn't know we were going to get 3,517 names in a wheel.
Yeah. It's this is wild.
Let me know if you see yours.
Also, Stabler for president, Genty more or less on him getting 30-plus carries this week. I'm going to go less just because 30 carries is a lot. Like, I would say on Prize Picks, he's probably down for 19, if I had to guess. He's probably down for 19 carries on Prize Picks.
This is insane.
All right, y'all. Final chance for you to win a signed Ashton Genty helmet. After this spin, I'm going to head on out of here, and I'm going to get ready to go live on our Red Sox channel for a little Red Sox-Yankees action. I love that playoff baseball is here.
Oh, what? Wait. Who won that Cubs game? Did that end?
Low Life Res says, hey, I see my name. What's crazy is I actually thought that this would be even smaller. That's what she said. Because there's literally like 4,000 names in this thing.
Cubs are beating the Padres right now 3-1.
Nice.
Oh, wow. One at the very end.
More or less, Gino, 3 picks this week. I think you got to go less for your own mental health. Though, you could make an argument. You're like, all right, I'll go more. That way, if it happens, you put money in your pocket. And if it doesn't happen, then you're happy because Gino wasn't horrible.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a win-win scenario.
There you go. There you go. All right, I'm looking at my phone. All right, I see one more guy that needs some extra entries here. His name, Fabian. Hang on, let me get these in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we got to do that, and that. All right. Fabian just got himself 40 tickets. Fabian Moreno just got himself 40 extra tickets. This is going to be a hell of a race here, man. Somebody's going to go home with an Ashton Genty signed helmet.
Sorry.
You got to add him.
Yeah, no, I was
good.
adding him, but also I had to take it down because I was like, I don't want it to crash while it's up there.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
We
It stopped for a second, and I was just like.
We tried it earlier, and I actually told Chugs, I'm like, do you think we should try to pre-record it? This one's not pre-recorded. This is literally going to be live because it was just crashing on us because of the amount of names. And
I think the next raffle we might have to go up to $10.
depending on what it is. Yeah.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could see. Because I like the ability where everyone has a chance to win, but at the same time, there's 4,000 names on this wheel. So, all right, Jeremy, you guys ready? Oh wait, one more. Justine Gonzalez, and she needs 10 tickets. Yes, 10. Justine, you in. Justine, you in.
Oh, wait, Soldier Man.
Probably. Knowing y'all. Y'all were just like, wait, let me get in here real quick. Maybe to send some good vibes to yourself, type 2 down below for Ashton Genty.
Get those 2s.
Somebody's going to go home. Signed Ashton Genty helmet. And I want to be very clear. If you are not here to claim your prize, I am going to give you 24 hours. If after 24 hours you still do not claim your prize, then I'm going to do this wheel spin again on Thursday Night Football. So if I don't have somebody to claim the winner by Thursday Night Football, we're just going to spin this wheel again. Sound good? I hope so, because I don't want somebody to be like, Mitch, I won the wheel. I didn't see it until Saturday. It's too late. I'm going to give you until Thursday Night Football. Sound good? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. You ready?
It's spinning.
Oh, it's spinning. I didn't know it was spinning.
It's just
Darian Schofield. Darian Schofield. Though, I know Darian. I have Darian's information.
okay.
I'm just going to type this out. Which actually, I don't know how many ducks he had or how many names he had in it. He's probably had, if I had to guess, he had to have probably 20 to 40 tickets. Because he's been in a bunch of duck races. Darian Schofield, Ashton Genty helmet winner. I'm just typing that to you. Darian, are you here? I didn't even realize that it was spinning, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was.
Though, Rebel, Rebel, you got in our fantasy football league on a lucky spin. You had like 1 out of like 1,000 chance. And you got in our fantasy league, and now you're 4-0 flipping. Oh, man. 4-0. Darian. I will say this, because I have Darian's information on Venmo, are you guys okay with me just giving it to him?
I think he'll probably.
I think that's fair. I have his information.
I also think he'll probably respond.
Yeah, I agree. Darian Schofield.
That was just we gave away a lot of free tickets. So that was like if somebody who's maybe watched one live show.
Like imagine it's like a random Monday Night Football viewer and I'm like, I don't know how to get in contact with them. John Fallon also down below. Hey, Mitch and Chuck.
Oh, yeah. Can we spam Fallon? Can we spam Fallon down below? Maybe you just send him $1 Venmo. You're ahead of me.
Yep. Need shipping address. Darian, I actually just Venmo'd you $1, and I just put in there, need your first name, last name. I think I know those two, but just in case your first name and last name are not Darian Schofield, and then I just need your shipping address. Ready to rock and roll.
Somebody asked how many people, just under 4,000 names were on that list.
Just under those names.
That's why I kind of said, like, maybe we up it. I was surprised. Like, I was legit worried I hit the spin, and you were like, is it spinning? And I was like, I think it might have crashed. It was just.
I didn't note it. Like, it almost looked like a tire, and when it's going so fast, you're like, is it actually spinning?
Yes.
Like, I was like, I don't know if it's moving or not. To John Fallon, for you being such a legend, brother. And again, really, really, really appreciate you, getting us this helmet. I want all y'all to know every raffle giveaway that we do throughout the remainder of the year, John Fallon will automatically be in. So I just want everyone to know that. John, I want you to know that as well. So no matter what we give away this year, you're always going to have an opportunity to get it in. There he is, Darian Schofield. Darian Schofield. What's going on, man?
Darian. Let's go.
In the building, y'all. He's here in the building, y'all. But also, before we get out of here, I want to know who y'all got. Red Sox, Yankees. Let me know down below. And can you check that message that I sent you? Because this one, the one at 419.
Oh, I thought that was just for tickets.
It is, though. Because technically we have a tie right now in our bang race.
Oh, yeah. That you're actually.
So we technically right now have a tie in our bang race. And I don't really know how to settle it. Though this, I think, is the way to do it. Fair? I think it's fair. Alex Mugwai! Maguire. Bang! Get out, ball! Get out, ball! Maguire! His 23rd bang of the month of September. Absolutely, positively unbelievable. As it stands, our September bang MVP belongs to Mr. Maguire. Alex, shout out to you, brother. Some legendary shit. All I need from you, Alex, if you could please send me on Venmo just your jersey size, I would greatly appreciate that. Mama made it. Genty helmet. You just rub off the signature real quick, Darian. I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you. Darian, just think, bro. This is going to be yours. The Ashton Genty signed helmet. Darian, if you could, give a huge thank you to John Fallon. He's down in the comments. He's the one that donated this helmet to us. But, John, I also wanted to be able to do something, for you on a Thursday night football show or a Monday night show. Something that, is dedicated, a deal dedicated for you, because I think when you give away something like this, I just want to be able to show people when you put good energy into the world, how can we be able to show love to you? So, to John, let me know if you'd rather do something like on a Monday night football or a Thursday night football, some sort of deal that we could do that would feature you. I think that would be really flipping cool, man. I think that would be really flipping cool. To Darian, I already sent you a Venmo. Again, just send me your first name, last name, shipping address. That way I can get this helmet sent out to you. I'm going to get the helmet sent out to you tomorrow, so hopefully you'll get it in the next week or so. Just be on the lookout for that bad boy. All right, y'all. So here's what's going to happen. I am getting ready to hop on out of here.
Wait, stay where you are, though.
Correct.
And you know what? I don't even think I'm going to go to the end screen. I think I'm just going to end it here.
Okay.
Because what it's going to do is Mitch is going to actually –
I'm not joining this stream until about 5 o'clock because I still have to get a few of my stuff done.
Do you want to make a deal for Raider Nation if they hit X amount of bangs or whatever until you get there?
I mean, I'll tell you this right now. I'm drugging. To me, this – I literally told Alex this. I go, after that loss to the Bears, I didn't want to show up to work this week and be like, I got to talk about the Raiders. And I'm not going to do that this year. I mean this. I'm going to have fun every single day. I'm going to love what I do, and I'm going to have fun with the nation. If you don't think I'm not going to be chugging some beers tonight on this stream, you got another thing coming. What's also crazy, Jack told me he's going to do beers tonight. Jack is you get 3 beers in Jack, he's going to be on the ground. So we're doing beer bong for beer bong over on the Red Sox
He's going
to
text his girlfriend at 7, you up?
Holy shit, dude. Oh, my God, bro. Oh, man. Which, again, Jack and I are the complete opposite of how we, go about it on air. He's a diehard baseball fan. I played baseball, so I think that we have a really cool dynamic. I mean this. If you guys want to hang out with me, and I hope that you do, please hang out with us over on our Red Sox channel.
Give him help. And you know what? I'll do a beer bong if we get a bang over there in the next 5 minutes. We're going to end it. It's going to send you directly to our Red Sox stream. If we get a bang in the next 5 minutes on Red Sox, I'm going to go over there and do a beer bong as well.
Jack told me that every $100 is a beer bong.
All right.
It's not like you have to send in a hundo. It's every $100 is a beer bong.
Night Devil, for you, there will be ducks. We'll get a duck race going over there.
Oh, for the Red Sox stream, there's going to be ducks.
Oh, we'll duck around.
We're going to be ducking around.
All right.
Finding out.
From me, from Mitch, we're going to put out the video that we just did, and then Mitch will be over there on the channel. So
I'll be over there at around 5 o'clock, right around first pitch, which is 6:08 Eastern time.
All right.
Sound good?
For me to Mitch, congrats to Darian Schofield. Don't go anywhere. We'll be over on our Red Sox stream.